KENW's very own Lonnie Berry submitted his pet for Pet of the Day.
Wind is coming to northern New Mexico. Stay tuned to hear more about it on My First Weather.
And we'll talk about the multiple arrests in Clovis recently. All that and more right now.
This is News 3 New Mexico, your local source for news, sports, and first weather.
Welcome back to News 3 New Mexico. I'm Drake Long.
And I'm Samantha Stressman. Thank you so much for watching.
9th Judicial District Attorney Quentin Ray announced today that Alex Zapata, age 27, has been sentenced to 8 years in the New Mexico Department of Corrections following his conviction of tampering with evidence. The charge is related to a December 12, 2024 incident where the Region 5 Drug Task Force agents, in coordination with the U.S. Marshal Service and Clovis Police Department, located and arrested Zapata at a residence in the 3100 block of Smith Street in Clovis. Both Zapata and his girlfriend, Michaela Sandoval, were detained at the scene. During the booking process, Zapata attempted to destroy evidence by swallowing a small bag of suspected methamphetamine. He was transported to the hospital where a white substance was recovered. Testing by the New Mexico Department of Public Safety confirmed that the substance was methamphetamine weighing 0.03 grams. Zapata's conviction is separate from pending charges. He is still awaiting trial in connection with the 2023 homicide and robbery of Anaval Ulloa Salguero.
On October 1st, 2025, 30-year-old Martin Caballero Diaz pled guilty to second-degree murder in the killing of his mother and was sentenced to 21 years in the New Mexico Department of Corrections. The sentence includes enhancements for being a habitual offender and for the discharge of a firearm during the commission of the crime. Per New Mexico state law, Caballero Diaz will be required to serve at least 18 years before becoming eligible for parole. The homicide incident occurred on the evening of August 24, 2022, when officers with the Clovis Police Department responded to a welfare check at 1216 Half North Lea Street. Upon arrival, officers discovered the body of 57-year-old Joan Caballero, the defendant's mother, beneath a pile of clothing in their rear residence. She was pronounced deceased at the scene. An autopsy later confirmed she had suffered 2 fatal gunshot wounds. Caballero Diaz was found and detained without incident in a bathroom in the adjoining front residence, 1216 North Lea Street. The Major Crimes Unit, a joint task force comprised of the Curry and Roosevelt County Sheriff's Offices, Clovis and Portales Police Departments, and investigators from the 9th District Attorney's Office, was activated to lead the homicide investigation. At the scene, investigators recovered evidence, including spent shell casings, a pistol, and the victim's purse. Ballistics testing by the New Mexico Department of Public Safety confirms the pistol was the murder weapon. DNA analysis further linked the firearm directly to Caballero Diaz.
Sean Diddy Combs is being sentenced tonight. The sentence in a federal court in New York City, 3 months after he was convicted on 2 prostitution-related charges. He was acquitted on the more serious charges of sex trafficking and racketeering conspiracy. Combs does plan to speak during the sentencing, according to a letter from his attorney, who has also requested that Combs be allowed to wear non-prison clothes, which the judge granted. Prosecutors have requested that the judge presiding over the case sentence Combs to 11 years and 3 months in prison. However, Combs' lawyers argue that he should receive no more than 14 months. Combs also requested an acquittal or new trial, and he was denied. He has remained in detention while awaiting the sentencing, which will take place from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Mountain Time.
I don't know about you, but that wind is certainly starting to get to me.
Oh, I know, the wind is just in my hair all the time nowadays.
It's been horrible, and it's going to stay today, but it's going to be on its way out, looking out tomorrow. But before we get into any of that, let's take a look at that map, our radar. We're going to be seeing a little bit of rain trying to move into the California, Nevada area, a little bit in that Utah, and a little bit of that precipitation wanting to move its way into that northwestern area of New Mexico. But my main concern is the wind. I don't know about you, but it's been kind of rough recently, don't you think? Well, it's going to be on its way out, luckily, mainly moving into our kind of northwestern environment for New Mexico, hitting in Albuquerque a small bit, getting up into that 20-30 mile per hour range, and for the most part staying in the 10 mile per hours. That's all I have for now, but stay tuned because in my full weather, we'll be seeing if your allergies are going to be expecting abnormalities. Back to you, Samantha.
Thank you, Lainey. Late in the evening on October 2nd, 2025, a massive explosion rocked the Chevron refinery in El Segundo, California, lighting up the night sky with flames that were visible for miles. The city of El Segundo said there was no immediate threat to the public and evacuation was unnecessary. Several local fire departments were reported to be fighting the blaze, located just off the Pacific Coast Highway. Traffic has been diverted away from the scene and road closures are expected to continue for the foreseeable future. Officials announced on Friday morning that the fire was mostly contained, with a few flames still visible. No injuries have been reported, and all employees are accounted for. The cause of the fire still remains unknown.
If you've been wanting to go to a state park soon, you're in luck. New Mexico residents will be able to take advantage of 2 new benefits at most state parks. Residents will be able to receive free day-use access to New Mexico state parks by showing a valid New Mexico ID. This change comes as an update to the state park's fees and boating rules. When it is not off-season, the day-use entry is usually $5. On top of this, New Mexico state parks have also increased the maximum stay limit for campers to 14 consecutive days. These changes will be in place through April 30th of next year, and the offers do not apply to the parking at Rio Grande Nature Center, State Park, or Energy to the Living Desert Zoo and Garden State Park. Friday's News 3 Pet of the Day comes to us from none other than our very own Lonnie Berry. This is Bo. He is a toy schnauzer, but don't let his itty-bitty size fool you. He has a personality that's 10 times as big as he is.
If you would like a chance to have your pet on live TV, send a photo of them, their name, their age, and something you love about them to News3 New Mexico at enmu.edu.
We're changing the show up a bit today, so coming up after the break, Lorenzo will have his full sports report for you.
So make sure you stay tuned for that. But first, let's look at today's financial market.
But I was about to trip over the sports desk.
He's not staying with us.
Yeah,
just a little bit quicker, I think.
Yeah, well, some of them are a little too fast and then some of them are a little too slow.
So, other than that, it's fine.
Yeah.
And all the mistakes were on mine just because I can't say words. But,
Yeah, same.
yeah.
Welcome back, sports fans, to News 3 New Mexico. We're shaking things up today, so you get to see my pretty mug a little bit sooner than usual. As always, let's dive into today's report. Starting us out tonight is the MLB. The Wild Card Series came to a close yesterday with a total of 3 games being played yesterday to determine the next division series. Coming up this weekend, there's a lot on the line for the qualifying teams, with the next series being League Championship Series later this month. And right now, the Yankees have the top spot with a clinched wild card, while the Toronto Blue Jays in second have a clinched division and best record in the league for the season. While Seattle has a clinched division in third, and in fourth with a clinched wild card are the Boston Red Sox, and sitting in fifth this week are the Cleveland Guardians with a clinched division as well. This weekend is the start of the division series, and the first game kicking it off are the Chicago Cubs going against the Milwaukee Brewers. Kicking off into the next story is the NFL. This past weekend was a crazy one. On a personal highlight of these last few games was the tied game between the Green Bay Packers and the Dallas Cowboys. The Week 4 matchup was an intense one on both sides of the playing field. While the first half of the game was being led by the Packers, It was the third and fourth quarter. Both teams fought neck and neck to take the win over the other. The game even going into overtime, with both teams still tying up a show, stealing 34-yard field goal from Brandon McManus. That sealed the final moments of the game, tying both games for both Packers and Cowboys at 40-40. It's moments like this that make my job a fun one. And with it only being the fourth week, it'll only get better from here. Passing it over to the next story, it is ENMU volleyball. The Eastern New Mexico volleyball team snatched a 3-match win streak on Saturday afternoon in a 3-0 road conference loss to Texas A&M Kingsville. Sofia Valdez led the Greyhounds with 10 kills and a .350 hitting percentage, while Addison Bartlett added 8 kills and Amaya Speller added 5 kills. Imani Brown finished with 12 digs on the afternoon. The Greyhounds finished the match with 8 blocks, which included 6 assists and 2 solo. The Javelinas held the Greyhounds to its lowest hitting the percentage since the Southwestern Oklahoma State match on September 11th, where ENMU hit .010 on the match. Tex A&M Kingsville has not defeated ENMU in 4 straight matches, with the latest Greyhound win coming up on September 10th, 2022, in Austin, Texas. The Greyhounds will be back in action next week for their 25 home opener against the Texas Women's on October 3rd and DBU on October 4th. Rounding out tonight's report is ENMU football. ENMU started quite fast. The Hounds drove down the field using just 4 plays for the 75 yards. On 4th play of the series, a 9-play methodical drive featuring all rushes got Eastern New Mexico the lead once again. 5 different ball carriers were part of the attack on the drive that helped give Eastern the lead for the rest of the game. Newcomer Jonathan Carter capped off the drive with a 6-yard scamper for a touchdown. The final score for Eastern New Mexico would come midway in the 4th quarter. A 6-play drive featuring 2 lengthy passes would be the benefactor in this result. Hopefully, we see more of this as the season progresses. That's all the sports I have for you for right now, but stay tuned. We'll be right back with Lainey for the weather.
Welcome back to News 3, New Mexico. I'm Lainey Carlock. Let's take a look at that weather. Looking at our radar one more time as we go into this evening, we're going to see that the California, Nevada area is really getting hit with that rain, really towards the San Francisco areas and a little bit up towards Billings. As for New Mexico as a whole, a little bit in that northwestern region. But overall, pretty nice. I would say so, at least. Precipitation is great for New Mexico as a whole. As we see, it's going to try to make its way over towards Albuquerque just slightly and up north, but overall, just a tiny bit of precipitation. As for eastern New Mexico, a little bit of cloud coverage here and there, especially in the Portales region, but no precipitation as far as we're seeing. Let's take a look at that wind. I've been feeling the wind. I know you've been feeling the wind, and I can say that all of us have been feeling that wind coming in today. As that wind moves up north, we're going to see it start to finally die down a little bit, down into that 10 mile per hour. But as for now, it's in that 20-30 range in the more northwestern areas. As for the eastern parts, we're seeing that wind is staying pretty low and about 10 miles per hour overall, and it should dissipate as we go into the night. But with wind comes allergies. Ooh, grass, pollen, ragweed, I know I'm feeling it. They are all high as we go into this week. And what does that mean? COPD, asthma. Make sure you have your asthma inhalers on hand, any breathing treatments as these allergies come about. Take Benadryl, Zyrtec, those all will help you breathe better. Let's take a look at our current temperatures. I know it's been hot, and I've been feeling it. You know, and it's crazy because our first freeze is supposed to be coming soon, but it just keeps getting hotter and hotter, and I can't handle that. Looking at 63 in Gallup and 81 in Farmington, I'm jealous. Going down into the eastern part, 74 in Ruidoso, 88 in Roswell, and 87 in Portales with 84 in Clovis. You would think so close together, they would be pretty much the same temperature. As for our lows tonight, we're going to get pretty chilly going up north. 39 in Farmington, 35 in Gallup, and 54 in Truth or Consequence. As for the eastern part of the state, 59 in Roswell, 58 in Portales, and 55 in Clovis. And as we move into tomorrow's highs, 75 in Raton, 75 in Farmington. Moving down to the eastern part, 74 in Ruidoso, 90 in Roswell, and 87 in Portales. So if you're going to the fair, stay cool. Our 7-day forecast. We're wanting to start off with Roswell, pretty going down in the temperatures, starting at 90 on Saturday and going down into the 80s, the 50s and 60s for the lows. As for Carlsbad, a little bit of that cloudiness throughout the week, up into the 90s and again shrinking down into the 80s, going down into the 60s, 61 as a low going Wednesday and Thursday night. There we go. Tucumcari, a little windy on Saturday and a little bit of that rain coming in on Tuesday and Wednesday, going down into the 80s and 70s, 65 on Tuesday, going down into the 50s and 60s for the lows. And finally, ending off with Portales, rainy on Monday and Tuesday.
Sounds like we're in for a treat.
Lots of precipitation. I'm happy about it.
Join us back after the break.
events. There was entertainment for days, from jugglers, bards, and performers. There's a large and extensive network of shops and bazaars, from weapons, cloaks, and other assorted trinkets. Small shops of all kinds populated the event, from independent meaderies to custom leather boot makers and artisanal bread bakers. This event had it all.
Not too bad. Getting busy. Trying to sell some stuff for Brandon.
And at 6 p.m., there was a large medieval battle of knights in shining armor going toe-to-toe in medieval free-for-all combat. Talk about dinner and a show. There were even fire eaters if armored combat wasn't enough.
So they have rebated edges and rounded tips. Others are sharp, and the ones that aren't.
This event happens annually, so if you hope to be there next year, it happens at Carlsbad. I hope to see you there next year. This has been Lorenzo Solis with News 3 New Mexico, signing off.
That's all the news we have for you right now.
But make sure you stay tuned.
1:30?
1:30.
Fair. It's in Roswell this week.
That sounds fun.
Absolutely, and I think there's supposed to be some really good weather for it, so I'm so excited because I can actually ride the rides rather than getting rained out.
See, I can't ride the rides anymore. I'm a bit too broad, and I don't want to embarrass the other kids by making them look like fools compared to this giant.
Yeah, I'm sure I'm sure that's what it is. I really like the ones that sit on the ground and spin. I can't handle the ones that go in the air. It scares me.
Yeah, okay. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you tune in next week on Wednesday for more News 3 New Mexico.